Yeah, and we can start because we don't want to waste any time. We have so much to talk about, and I am sure that you will like this session because it's like stories, a mix of stories, embroideries, folk tales, and all this stuff. When you hear all the time, when you hear about embroidery, you just think about a beautiful thing. Somebody wants to embroider like a tablecloth or maybe a pillowcase or something. But there is so many things more than that in the Palestinian embroidery. The Palestinian embroidery in itself, it's recording the history of their land, the Palestinian land. And since the woman was limited to stay home with her kids, to raise her kids, she contributed the most to the embroidery. She cannot go with her husband to the fields to work in the land. She has to stay with her little kids and raise them. That's why, because the housework is limited, so she has more time to do embroidery. Now, they created designs or patterns, is that how you say it, which describe their life. How can they get patterns? At that time, in the past, there was no like magazine, cross-stitch magazine, designs, all this. There were nothing. They used their brain to create designs, and then they put them on their clothes. Now, all the designs that they created, it has meaning. It has stories behind them. So today, that's what we are going to learn about the stories behind the Palestinian embroidery. And the title of the handout that I gave it to you, it says, Behind the Thobe. Oh, you didn't have one? Both? Oh. Okay. Yeah, it says on the top, behind the thobe. Thobe in Arabic is this, what I am wearing now, okay? The embroidered Palestinian long dress. It's called thobe, okay? Every thobe, I am going to use the thobe since I explain it to you. Every thobe has a story and it has a name, okay? As example, what I'm wearing today, my thobe is the flower thobe or the garden. We say it the garden because all the designs on it, flowers, green things, everything on it which describe what you can see in the garden. Now, we, of course, the way we embroidered, we need so many materials. I'll first give you some information about the materials. Then later on, we will talk more about the other thing. Now, the cross stitch. You know, cross stitch, everybody knows the cross stitch? The cross stitch is like the X, it's fine. Yeah, it's like X, okay? That's what they call it, the cross stitch. All these stitches here, they are a cross stitch. And you can, while I am going through, just look how small are the stitches. Okay, and all of them are, all of them are cross. I'll go from there also. Then you can see. You can see closer the cross stitch, each stitch here. Okay, thank you. Okay. And I'll go from there also to let the other people see a little how small the stitches are, okay?
It's really nice.
Oh. Now, we depend, the method of embroidering across a stitch is counting. We don't draw the picture that we want to embroider on the fabric. No, we use the counting technique. And to make it easy for us to have all the stitches the same size and on the same order, not going like this here, and one big or one small. So we have something which help us a lot, making it look like all together. Now, we have this kind. This is a canvas, and we call it wasted canvas. We call it wasted because here, I'll show you this here. Look at this piece that I am doing. We put the canvas here. We embroidered over it because it will help us see the stitch. How can we do the stitches? We count. We take the little squares and we make the X's. See? Mm-hmm. After we're done, yeah, see? Yeah. After we're done, we cut it. We cut the white thing that you see. And after we cut it, we pull the threads and throw them, of course. So, yeah, we like all these are the areas that it is, see? We pull them off, it will look like this. Okay. And also, this canvas, wasted canvas, it comes in sizes. If you want the stitch to be bigger, you need bigger. Like, see here, compare between this one, between here, the size of this one, and the size of these. This one bigger, okay? So if you see here, yeah. So if I want to make the same design on bigger thing, do you know what will happen? What do you think? If now these are very small. If I bring one big, like this, so the stitch will be bigger. So what will happen to the design? Yeah, exactly. So the bigger we want it to look, the bigger canvas we have to buy or use. So it comes in different sizes. This is, they call it 14 count. Okay, 14 count is, it means each inch has 14 stitch. But there is some which is bigger, like this one. Oh, the one I am using is 14. This one here is 10 count. It means that in 1 inch, 10 stitches in 1 inch. There is also 8, I think. Yeah, 8.5. 8.5 inches, which is bigger, okay? The smaller number of the stitches in one inch, it means the bigger stitch you have. Okay, here is the first of all, we have to have these for our embroidery. Then we need to have our threads. We have two kinds of threads. There is the plain color, which is all blue, and the variated color. See? Yeah, the variated color here. So it's just, if you can just look here. So these are, I have here some of the colors. There is this plain color and this is variated, so we can mix them together also. And we need sewing thread to sew the canvas on the, to paste, as you see here, to paste the canvas on the fabric so it won't move. So we can go in one line and it will be organized here. Also, we will need, of course, needles, but fine needles. We need, like, sometimes, you know, you need this to wear it so you don't poke yourself, okay? You need like measuring tape, okay? Of course. You need scissors, like we have scissors, like big scissor for the bigger thing, small one to cut a small thing or to snip the thread. Also, we can snip the thread if we want to cut it. You see this here? We just snip it here. And we have another tool. It's very small. This tool, we use it to, when we want to pull the canvas after we're done, we need to cut in between so it will be easier for us to pull it. What we do if we use a scissor, it's big. Some areas are very, very small. So we use this and make sure that it goes just between, just between the canvas and the fabric. Not to cut the fabric, of course. We just cut the canvas. It's sharp and we cut the, So this is another tool, and here, okay, these are, okay, and there is a ruler. That's it. These are the materials. Now, let us see this is here. This, you see, it's a very traditional, you know, scarf. You can wear it, you know, here. But it has a very traditional look. It has geometrical designs on it. It's all like geometry, you know, and all the same size, and as you see here. Okay. Okay, now here. We said that some designs have stories, okay? Let us start with this here. This is a design. I think you have it in the packet that I gave it to you. You know, the Palestinian woman called it Cleopatra design. And it's like a panel, like this panel, but it will be all this here, going all the way down, and from the back too, they have another two. Okay, they call it Cleopatra, you know why? Did you ever hear about the name Cleopatra? I don't know if I am spelling it. Cleopatra, yeah. What is Cleopatra? Oh, exactly, yeah, good. Yeah, that's why they call it Cleopatra pattern. And they call the whole dress Cleopatra, because Cleopatra was one of the pharaoh of Egypt. And she took power while she was very young, 17 years old. She's a teenager, you know, and she was in power. She was wealthy, she was very smart, and she defeated three Roman emperors. Yeah. Yeah. Julius Caesar, Octavius, Antonio, all these stories about her. At the time, you know, it was BC, before they started counting the years. At that time, they consider the woman is not active person in the society. And they consider women that less smartness, less talent than the man. They consider all kind of stuff about the woman. But when this woman came to power, she proved that woman has full brain. She is smart. She is powerful. She can do everything. It's not as all people thinking of her. That's why, because Palestine and Egypt are very close to each other. Cleopatra came to the Mediterranean shore where Palestine was and invaded that shore. She wanted to prevent the Roman from coming from that area and all the way to Egypt. So she wanted to defend Egypt, so she invaded that area. Of course, the Palestinian women heard about her story. They were so proud about her and how is a female has all these in description. And after, of course, after Cleopatra fall in front of the last Roman emperor, and when she felt the danger, what she said, do you know or remember what she did?
She killed herself.
Killed herself. Do you know why?
Because Mark Antony and Augustus were in battle and he lost, and therefore Mark Antony and her had this whole affair going on. Anyway.
Yeah, but why did she kill herself?
Because she had nothing left. The Romans were going to take over Egypt, and she was going to be raided in Rome.
Okay, she was thinking that if they captured her, they will put chains on her hand and her feet, and took her through Rome to show all the Roman that this is the queen. We captured, humiliated her. So that's why she would rather committed suicide rather than happen that to her. That's the story of Cleopatra. Then the Palestinian women heard the story and they started creating the designs. Here is the design. Let me explain it to you. Now everybody can see it here, huh? Can see it from here? Okay. Now, if you look at this shape here, it's a shape of a face with the eyes, and here jewelry all around the face. The jewelry, it means, or it's a symbol of wealth, because she was very wealthy. Then here it looks like a crown. The crown is a symbol of power. Then here is something like boots with high heel, which is a symbol of beauty. Okay, a symbol of beauty. Now, this big thing that they make it, which is the story, is the ring, her ring, the diamonds on the ring, where she put the poison inside. It has a compartment here. She put the poison. It was from the most poisonous snakes in the world, a snake called asp snake. She put the poison. Once she felt that they entered the palace, she swallowed it, and that's it. Now, I have here a ring which they call it Cleopatra ring. Okay? Now, look at this ring. Here where she put the poison. Okay? Of course, it was bigger, a little bigger. She put the poison and closed it to get ready for the action. That we call it in our country, they say it's a Cleopatra ring. So here is Cleopatra story. There is another story which is not very old, like the Pharaoh of Egypt as example. And it is one day, it's my grandmother's age, okay? So my grandmother and my grandfather were living in a town or a small city called Safad, it's northern Palestine. And my grandfather used to go, he has business in the villages around that city, okay? The business was pressing the olives to make olive oil, okay? He used to go check on the workers 2-3 villages. So my grandmother, she had a friend of her in another village. And that friend, she had a son, of course more, she has more, but one of her sons got married at that time. Now my grandmother, she cannot, because the transportation were so hard, nobody can travel unless it is very important. So my grandmother looked, I said, oh, she missed her friend a lot, and she knew that her son got married, but she wanted to know more and more about the story. What's happening? How is the mother-in-law dealing with the daughter-in-law? How they are living together, or maybe they had a fight, or all this stuff. And she cannot tell my grandfather to ask the woman, did you fight with your daughter-in-law or something? Because it's like women's issue more than men. Men don't care about that thing. So what she said, oh, she thought of an idea. What she wanted to do, she said, I am going to send with him a message to my friend. But they didn't write or read, of course, at that time. So she embroidered a pillowcase, okay? And this pillowcase is here, as you see, we start from here. We start from here. These birds here are, facing each other, and this is here, there is a nest, okay? Now, a little farther, you can see the bird back to back, and the nest may be split or something. So she embroidered a pillowcase and asked my grandfather she folded and asked him, just take it to Muhammad, her friend, Muhammad, the mother of Muhammad or something. So he said, okay, to put it in his pocket. He doesn't know what's going on. And he went there. Once he arrived there, he said, oh, my wife sent you a present with me. He gave it to her. She opened it. Exactly, once she opened it, she understood what's in it. She understood that, are you friend with your daughter-in-law, or you had a fight and split? So she returned with my grandfather, who stayed like 3 nights there. She embroidered the answer. And the answer was this. It's like we are not living with each other anymore. Okay? So he took it, and he does not have any idea what's going in his pocket. Okay? So since then, the Palestinian woman called this pattern mother and daughter-in-law. And originally, it was called the birds. People called it the birds. But there are other birds, but these birds in particular is the mother and daughter-in-law. Okay. So this is, here is one story. Now, there is, okay. There are, of course, many stories. Here, if you see this, it looks like it's a purse or something. It's embroidered, but it is a game. The Palestinian women also used to play games, but they embroidered the game. Everything in the game is embroidery. See? Here, these are the movers. The movers here, they have few, like, they don't like it if it is not embroidered, you know. These are the movers. It's brass, and this is the dice. It's six shells that they throw them, and they can read how many, you know, squares they move. And here is the game. Here is the game. And listen for the interesting thing. First of all, here they write some, like in Arabic, some words like Al-Ward Jamil, Ya Jamal Al-Ward. It means that Al-Ward, it means roses. Al-Ward Jamil, roses are beautiful. How beautiful are the flowers or the roses. And they have to move there all around, like they start from here, from this one, go all around, and here the end. Then if they have all the movers here, 4 of them, they win. And they call this here the kitchen. It's the kitchen in the middle. So they have to cook all the movers, okay? Yeah. Here. Let me see. Now there is, we will move to something, there are so many things. I am going to talk and talk. I don't know what time it will end here.
Like
2 at 2, it's good, yeah. So I'll go to these things first, and now here also there are other fabric work that the Palestinian woman send messages to another. And by the time is like in the past they cannot write or read. Now we can write and read. So we mix between the fabric and the writing. Now listen for this. This here, I made this for the International Women Conference. It was in Nairobi, Kenya, in the year 1985. I sent this to the conference with a group going there. And the purpose of sending this, I want to send a message. And here it looks like that dove carrying the message, okay, in her beak. And this represents me I have a dress like this and the same color of embroidery of this. So this, and this is the Palestinian flag, and this is here the borders where I cannot go to my home anymore. So from the back, I put this here. There is a message inside this zipper bag, and in the message here, I wrote it in Arabic and in English. Okay, so I'll read to you what I wrote in English. This was because very old. It's almost a few something I cannot see, so I have it here. Okay. Here is easier to read. So this is the Arabic one, and this is the English one. So listen what I am going to see. That what I sent to the women of the world. Women of the world. Women love peace to raise their children in. So why don't you make peace your #1 goal? I, as a Palestinian, know intimately that there are two kinds of peace. One, peace which is built on the bodies of those brutalized and murdered to silence their call for their just rights. Two, peace which comes from understanding people's suffering, sitting down with them to genuinely solve and resolve their problem so that justice and equality can be the code of the land, not death and suffering. This is the only peace. Although we are at the end of the 20th century, because I wrote it in the 85, and that's what it said, we only see peace of the terror and destruction, peace through surrender, humiliation, and elimination. Until when? Why don't we women raise our voices high and strong in the service of true peace to preserve our children, our future as a human being? As a Palestinian, I ask you to support my call for true peace for my people. We are not subhuman. We are people with history and civilization. We are mothers and fathers and children. We have had enough killing and diaspora. I smuggled my dream in my hidden wishes and crossed the ocean in hope for peace, for my Palestinian sisters who lost their children in war and have been widowed at an early age. I ask you for true peace for my people. Okay, thank you. That's the message that I sent it, and around 6,000 women in the conference had, read it because it was exhibited in the exhibition thing. Yeah, and there is, of course, the translation, the same, but in Arabic. Here. Also, I sent this with them. This, it represents the happy days. Before all the wars, before all the killings, all what happened and diaspora. People were happy. They were just dancing, and they wear like bright colored clothes, not black mostly, and yeah. Here. So I sent this with that. That is after the diaspora, and this is before. Here. Okay, and let me see. Here is another design or pattern. Okay, this pattern is also very powerful. I didn't finish that yet, but that's how we do our dresses. We first embroider on the piece, then we cut and make it fit. That's what I did with this here. Now, here, if you look at this here, let me see, make it a little, yeah, okay. Here, these should be like on the sides, one here and one here, all the way down. Now, these triangles here, do you see it? Oh, yeah, it will be two sides, it's better, yeah, so here, yeah. Now, here, this here triangle, this one up and that one down, is the canyon, the missile, I mean, the missile. This is the missile, and these dots are the canyon that they put in the missile, and yeah. These are trees, all the way, trees upside down, because missiles would make destruction wherever they were, okay? Now, when you go a little farther, where you don't see the missile, you can see flowers, and you can see peace and love and everything, but you cannot see that in this area, because that's war, that's what war does, that's what missiles does to destroy everything. So we call this dress the missile's dress, and it was created in around the year 1920s, when first British went to Palestine and mandated Palestine, and later on the Palestinians found out that there are missiles and weapons are smuggled to Palestine. Of course, that's what happened in 1948 when we were forced to leave our homes, and we are still having our key for our home. It's 60 years old, and 60 years. And my mother is still having the key for the house. She thought that we will be back anytime. But somebody else took the house and, live in it. So let me see if you, before the questions, let's just think if you have any question. I want to let you know about here. There is a thing which is very recent happened, which is here. Let me just, there is a paper with this. There is a Palestinian dress. Okay, anyway, okay. There is a Palestinian dress which entered the Guinness Book of Record. You know why? Because it is the longest dress in the world. And last year, it was from Pakistan, it was the longest dress. But this year, the Palestinian made longer one to compete. And now, let me tell you how long it is. Now, it is 32-meter long, 32 and 60. Okay, I have here a paper which is easier than looking for. Here. Okay, you will know now. I will tell you. Yeah. Okay. I put it here. I put it somewhere. Okay, anyway. Okay. Now, the last year dress, the Pakistani was 30 meter. This year is 32 and 60 centimeters. Okay. Yeah, here and 300 volunteers worked in the dress. 150 women, Palestinian women, embroidered the dress. It cost $40,000. It took 2,200 of this. 2,200 of this balls, embroidery balls, and it took 180 meter of the canvas, the wasted canvas here, and it takes have 60 meters of etamine. Etamine is it's look like this. It's not wasted canvas, but you can embroider on it without you can count on it. It has 1,500 meter from black fabric for the dress, 200 meter red velvet, and of course they there is here we didn't say the width. The width is 18 meter and 10 centimeters. Yeah, see how big? And they make a display in a park. If you look here, how small the man is. Your men are working. See how small they are. I'll go from the other side. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
How long did it take to make the dress?
Oh, yeah. This is a good question. 3 months. Yeah, they wrote here. It's 3 months because 150 women and they split it into pieces and connected. They wrote there how many pieces, but let me see. I think 1,400 140 pieces. 140 pieces, which they later connect them to each other. Yeah. So this is very new thing. Okay, and we have, of course, so many designs, other designs. Yeah, here. Sometimes I go to the schools. I teach, students like your age or something, and they create some designs here. Yeah, kids, they do things on a graphic paper. So I always keep them, so they are good here. Yeah, here they are so many. Yeah. Okay, so if you have any question, I'll be, glad to answer any question because I am sure that somebody will have. Yeah.
Do women in Palestine get together? Are there groups of women who get together to do some embroidery?
Yeah. Usually, they gather and they help each other in producing the whole dress. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they help each other. That's it. Like if I need help, somebody will come help me. Then I go help somebody else. Mm-hmm. And when the girl reached like 14 years old, she started embroidering her own dresses. Mm-hmm. For the future marriage, of course, but when she married, after that she can do more and more. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, for the embroidery, you said that there's some stories, most of them. How do people understand the stories?
Yeah. We like in the packet when you read that the embroidery is unwritten language transferred between women between women to women in silence. What it means that, like, my mother taught me, okay, I am teaching my girls. My girls will teach the other generation, okay? So everybody will teach other, yeah. That's how we know. Because I remember that my grandmother used to tell me, oh, please give me Cleopatra dress as example. What is Cleopatra? When I was young, and she, what Cleopatra? Let me search. And she used to explain it to me, you know. And when I grew up and I went to college, I studied art history. And I studied about Cleopatra. I said, oh my God, I hear that from my grandmother. The same thing, you know, I read in the books. So they document the history, you know. Yeah. Other questions if you want? If anybody has, we have, I am sure I didn't say everything, but if you, maybe you can ask and it will be.
So somebody would create a dress like this and wear it for their wedding?
No.
Or is it, when would they wear a dress like this?
Yeah, also good question, because, you know, women embroidered numerous of dresses, of tops, يعني several. And it's according to the materials, they wear it, like if it is velvet as example, okay, because velvet is expensive, and you know you cannot wear it like when you are maybe cleaning dishes or something, because it might stain. So they wear it just for the occasions. They have kinds of fabric which it's like this, you know, this is not fancy, you know, this is everyday wear. They wear it every day, because this kind you can wash it, and after it's dry, you wear it. It doesn't wrinkle, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't, you know, ruin. And the kind of embroidery thread that we use, also it lasts. It doesn't fade, you know, when you wash it. So it stays like almost forever. And sometimes if the color, the black color, like fade or it look like old, some people, they cut the embroidery and they sew it on a new fabric. This way, it's as if it's new. And there is also something I forget to tell you, but I just remember. If you see this here, there is a picture here also, the last page, I think. These we call them managel. And managel is like this dress, this piece, the front piece, it's one piece. The side piece, it's different. This side piece is different. The back piece is different. Now, when I want to put them together, I put these the traditional way, because in the past they don't have sewing machines. See, there's no sewing machine. And they want their dresses to be strong, don't rip like any time. Oh my God, sometimes it happens, you know. Yeah, where the seams, it's all like it open or something. But this here, we bring the two pieces together. And we fold this edge and this edge and put them together like this. And we use 2 needles, okay? And we weave 1 needle from here, 1 needle from here. Like this, yeah. And each, we cut the threads the same size. So whenever the thread, you know, it's done, we have another one, another one, another one, and the same thing. We go from this, and it's weaving, Okay, now if I want to rip this dress, it might rip the same fabric, but not here, but not where these are. If you, no, it won't rip. You can rip the original fabric, but not with these. Yeah. Okay, so do you have any other question? Yes.
So I don't really sew, so I don't know much. So the cross stitches you said, how did you do that? You have to go to like a special tool or
The needle, you know, you can, like, let me show you here. Here it is. There is a needle here, okay? Here is, oh, the needle is not. Anyway, we put it in one hole. We count 2 holes. We put it this way, and then the other way it comes over it. You know, yeah, you can learn it. It's easy. It's not, you know, there is, yeah, there is. Yeah.
Do for the next program or to go back to,
Okay.
I think the ballroom.
Oh, yeah, okay. Is there anybody coming here, or I can take time putting these away?
Oh, there's nobody, as far as I know, there's nobody
Yeah.
using this room
Oh.
next. And I need to stay around until it's closed down.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
So.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I hope that you like it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It's really pretty.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.